Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the Friday podcast where we talk about your submissions of naughty things that, you want to share. Oh, I can't wait to have that woman back on.
Who?
The one we had to reschedule who went to the Swingers Club. And then
when is she coming on?
she had to reschedule too. I guess there was a delay in her book, but that is going to be juicy because the last time we had her, she was still married. And now
she's not. And he was very supportive of it. Was he not?
I know. Everyone just seems so open-minded about it. And you're kind of like...
You're like, really?
Really?
Are you really open-minded about that shit? It's the holidays are happening so fast.
Not going to give us any good?
So I have to find the submissions. But I was going to say that holidays are coming. And lo and behold, that means that either sex is going to ramp up or sex is going to ramp down.
I mean, considering all of the family time and travel, visiting like in-laws and parents and aunts and uncles.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a lot of time for that unless someone is taking their partner away somewhere alone, which doesn't happen during the holidays because kids are at home.
Kids are really at home. What age can you leave them alone?
I think, I started babysitting in grade 6.
Sleeping alone?
Oh, you mean like go away? I don't know. I mean, we've had people that come to our show who have kids that are like...
The oldest was 18.
Mm-hmm.
So 18?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I do remember kind of being but I had an older brother.
How old was he?
3 years older than me. So let's say if I was in grade, maybe she left me alone. It was New Year's and she would always go up to her her friend's place. And I think maybe I was in grade 11. So I was...
17
or 6. Yeah.
16, 17. Mm-hmm. And he was 21. 19.
My brother, yeah.
19.
Yeah, reasonable. And he was such a grown-up.
Huh.
But someone did barf on the carpet.
You?
No.
You had friends over?
I had some people over before the party. It was really early. I think I told you about this. Like a rookie.
Yeah.
Rookie barfed and then got taken home by like 6.
Good girl. Was it a girl?
No.
It was a boy.
Guy.
Whoa.
Yeah.
He really gave her...
needed to get out there, because he went to university after that.
Right after that.
Well, I mean, he had half a year left.
He would have had a big life curve lesson.
Actually, there was grade 13 back then.
Yeah.
So I was in grade 12. So maybe I was 17. Yeah. So we were even older.
It's so crazy to think that you guys have, let's just say you're kind of empty nesters right now, right? And your kids have gone to university and college, and then they come home for the holidays for like a month. And you had your own life, and then they walk back in for a month, and they had their own life, and then you have to merge. And some of you are going to have them bring home like friends and people. And I wonder if your spouses who you could give undivided attention to get jealous or don't get jealous or are excited to also have the kids home, because I find so often moms are so excited when their kids come home for like university. I mean, I haven't talked to a ton, but I feel like they're so like counting down the days till their house is full with kids again. But then I feel like for some spouses are like, it was so nice to have them out of the house, so the attention's back at me, and we can have like
they graduate and then they move back home. It's like a tease.
I know. And then we often talk to people at the show who talk about sex, and they talk about being like empty nesters. But now I don't know if you really are ever an empty nester. And I was thinking, do spouses get like a taste of it and then of being empty nesters and having like the freedom, and then all of a sudden your space is invaded again? And if there's one spouse who's like, this is a non-negotiable for me, we had such a active life in the bedroom and now it's gone back down to nothing because the focus has gone back to the children.
I think they need to make a big move to like downsize or move into a condo
to get rid of them the minute they move out.
Yeah, downsize and or like go to like move to Florida or something like that where you have like a smaller like place, so there's really no space for them. So if they come, they have to like
bunk
up or like get an Airbnb, or like there's just no space for you anymore.
You would never do that.
No.
I'm saying most moms wouldn't do that.
No.
They'd be like, I know many people who are renovating as their kids get older, so they have more room for their kids to move back home because they know it's a reality. I know.
So it's really never over.
Well, I don't know if it's a problem for anyone. I don't know. I just know that when we were younger guys and we had little kids, everyone said, wait till your kids are older, then you get a crazy, like everything comes back and you get a crazy sex life. Like, just you wait. I don't know if they were lying.
Maybe people moved out back then.
12 years ago?
Yeah, I don't know. Or they went to university. Your kids also would have to be like in close proximity in age, because like our first kids that go to university, we're still gonna have little kids at home for a long time.
Those big ones will be home when the
By
other
the time the other ones leave.
Yeah. So I was just curious what it's such a like secret. It feels like it's behind closed doors where no one tells you.
So we need to get confessions and interview people who are potentially empty nesters, how they made that happen, and are they
sexually active?
No.
Until what age?
Mm-hmm.
And then when people get older?
Mm-hmm. They get horny?
No, I don't know.
Oh,
like if you're
right?
75, are you still as horny as when you were like do you with all your free time and your naps, are you having sex? And I don't mean like 75 is very young. I mean when you're aging, when you're married to someone, because I know a lot of people get their own bedrooms.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I mean, smart.
Yeah.
Very smart.
I know.
You get to a point where you're like, it's not a secret. Like, yeah, no, I have my own fucking bedroom.
I just feel like there's probably, just like in every relationship, there's all kinds. So
I'm sorry.
Whatever you're, yeah.
So just imagine the grandparents. Are they rolling up at nighttime and like rubbing her back, and then like deciding if they're gonna pop a Viagra, and
yeah,
then
I feel like there's some of those.
and then what if they get shot down and they have a Viagra?
Oh shit!
Like, do you have to commit? How long does Viagra take to kick in?
I feel like it's pretty fast. I feel like you could take it and like 20 minutes later you have a boner. Mm-hmm. And then I think it lasts 5 hours.
What?
Yeah.
Do you ever ejaculate?
And then are you still hard after you ejaculate?
Should I look it up?
Oh, yeah. I know we've asked Romeo this before, but I can't remember. You know, he tells us so
much. He's also
stuff.
very young.
Yeah.
I need to see. Okay. How?
If they don't ejaculate, why would they want to do it? Isn't that the good
How
part?
long does Viagra
last?
No, take to kick in.
We were at a gas station in, where were we? Just?
California.
California. And they had all these things at the cash. And I'm like, what are these things? And the young brothers that work at the gas station are like, those are for sexual performance. And I'm like, an enlargement? I'm like, and they're just looking at me with a smile. I'm like, yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, and they don't work. They're lies.
Romeo said that they just make your heart, like they can make your heart race.
They basically make you like a jackrabbit. It just makes everything faster.
And you can like have a panic attack. So like, don't take those. Okay, guys?
How long does Viagra take to work? For most people, Viagra takes 30 to 60 minutes to start working.
Mm-hmm.
Although it can start working as fast as 12 minutes.
Oh, shit.
Still, to give it enough time to start working, it's recommended you take a Viagra a full hour before you want to try to have sex.
So definitely you can't go out in public. Like you can't take it at the club because then you're going to get a boner in your pants.
Viagra doesn't stop your erection. I can't, the words.
What does Viagra do?
It brings blood flow.
How does it know to just bring it to the penis?
It probably goes everywhere. And it's probably just like, how does Advil know to hurt?
I know.
Same thing. Viagra doesn't stop your erection going down after you ejaculate. So you'll likely lose. Wait, Viagra doesn't stop your erection going down after you ejaculate.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll likely lose your erection after you do. That doesn't make sense. And if
how long does Viagra last?
Wait.
You know, it would be best
can we
if
do
it
this
just
one
lasted
too?
till ejaculation.
How do you know when Viagra is working? Do you want to know that one?
I would think you have a boner.
If you're sexually aroused, Viagra should work to help you keep or get an erection within 30 minutes to 2 hours. So I don't know if it just works without being sexually aroused. Very smart pill. But if you don't get an erection within 4 hours after taking a dose, Viagra did not work for you this time.
So you might have to sit around for 4 hours to see if it's going to work?
That's what I'm saying. So what are you like? So tonight I'm going to try. I'm going to give this one a go-zy. Or I'm going to like see like we're going to, and then if it doesn't work out and if it does work out, are you like, quickly, it's working.
I just need to know how long it lasts.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Because I can't because having an erection, even if you've already ejaculated, feels like it would be uncomfortable. But you know how they can have sex for hours and hours and hours when they're on it?
Well, let's find out. No, because premature ejaculation is a different medication. They're not one of the same.
I wasn't comparing them.
I'm saying if you're an early ejaculator, you're not going to be hours and hours and hours.
it just doesn't it say it doesn't the boner doesn't go away after the ejaculation?
Oh, but you still ejaculate
Yeah.
early.
Yeah. And then you get to go round it again.
Oh my! On average, Viagra lasts between 2 and 3 hours.
Oh, it's not too bad.
Hold on. Before its effects start to diminish.
That's pretty good.
Viagra
That's
can last up to 5 hours or longer.
Oh no.
It's very tricky depending on your dosage.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to say what I'm going to take from this is Viagra takes about 30 minutes to kick in and lasts about 3 hours. That's how I'm going to take the stats.
Yeah.
Which I think is pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
You know, because like you're getting kind of in the mood and then you take it and then you only have to wait half an hour and then you have 3 hours. Now,
to sit with it?
Can you ejaculate multiple times on Viagra? Or Viagra doctor. And it's just so weird that guys can take this and there's really nothing for girls. Although we've always said apparently there is an edible for this, but until we know 100% that that's what the edible will do and that's all it will do, we're not doing that.
It clears your brain. So does alcohol. Yes, it's possible to ejaculate multiple times, but that's your individual refractory period.
Okay.
Which is the time it takes to recover from ejaculation.
Right.
Some people
can go right away.
Ejaculate multiple times.
Yeah, like those people who are like, oh my God, I had like sex 3 times in a row.
Yeah, and then some people
he's got good recovery.
Some people it's a day. It just takes them out. It's just it's one.
Depends on your recovery.
It really depends on your recovery and how much you can go for another round.
Yeah, I'm not interested in going twice.
Me neither.
No, thank you. When I was dating this one guy.
Important to note again, highlighting, it will not make you last longer in bed. So if you are a 2-pump chump, which is great news, it's not going to give you a 4-pump chump or a 10-pump chump.
Potentially you could come and then keep penetrating.
If you're not too sensitive to keep going.
Exactly.
If your refractory period is good, if you're able just to get her back up again. I
went to this weekend to go visit this guy, and it was, essentially just for that. What?
It sounds like I went this weekend to go visit. I literally. So
I went this past weekend.
I just went this past week. I just went this weekend to see. I went not this one weekend.
I even took a bus for this sexual weekend.
And
he had really good recovery.
Oh, so you do it multiple times.
Better than mine. I was like, oh my God. Like, it was like, do it, then watch a movie, have something to eat, do it again, do it again, do it again.
You must have been chafed to high hell.
I was so uninterested at the end of the weekend.
Were you like, I'm done?
I was like, and he had a girlfriend for a long time. And I'm like, she has to do this?
All the time?
Oh.
Like how many times in the weekend?
Oh my God, I swear like 6 or 7.
So like 3 a day.
Yeah, and probably he would have wanted more, but I was just pretend I was tired.
He would have gone more. So he has a very strong
recovery rate,
refractory period.
Yeah, and then like he's like, let's order pizza. I'm like, pizza, and then you're just going to have sex right after. Like, oh, my tummy might hurt. Like I can have sex, but then let's eat and let's go to bed.
I know, that's reasonable. That's why you don't go away on buses for weekends. That was your first clue.
Well, I never went back.
You broke up.
Well, we weren't going out.
And did he call you, or you didn't care?
I don't remember.
Back then when there was no cell phones and you couldn't just like text them and you actually had to pick up the phone, you could avoid the call. Hey kids, just in, we used to have to phone call and you could just take your phone off the hook and it was busy.
Yeah.
And you might have call waiting, but if you had 2 people on the call, you couldn't get through.
Yeah, and it was just a side piece anyways.
I know, but I feel like side pieces are much harder now with text messaging and DM because they can just like left them unread or text them quickly. Like I feel like people expect a response where when we were able to walk away, actually we were our generation was the king and queens of ghosting. We actually got to really ghost because you could give a fake name, you could give the wrong number and they couldn't find you. Like you really could be. We had it nailed. We could just walk away and you could give the wrong digit and they couldn't find you.
What I did often is like in the moment of like drinks and stuff, I'm like, yeah, I like totally like think he's skin. I give my number and then I'd have to brief the family.
not to pick up the phone.
It was a home phone. Don't pick it up. And my mom's like, Natalie, not again.
And
I'm
you're like, sorry.
Yeah. I'm like, just nobody answer. Nobody answer.
Ghosting.
Yeah.
We were the ghosters.
It was
like,
so good.
You literally did not have to pick up the phone call, and they didn't know if they just missed you.
Yeah.
Like, they were like, oh, they just didn't pick up the phone, or I can't get a hold of them.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't know if you really weren't picking up, and then eventually it's like, I guess I'm just not calling them.
And there's a lot less kind of, you'd think that there's a lot of hurt in that. There's actually a lot less hurt in that because you get, like, even if it's you too, you get the idea quick. Because if the person wanted to call back, they would have called back.
Also, you know that if
caller ID.
They've seen their phone number or not.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you see the text messages, everyone knows that they've read the text message.
Yeah.
They just aren't texting you back.
I think it was good both ways. I think it was good for ghosting, and I think it was good for being ghosted. Because if you were cool enough to realize they haven't called, leave it.
Yeah, or you could just be in denial to yourself and say,
oh, they lost my number.
They lost my number. That's so
Maybe
too
we'll
bad.
run into each other another
If it's
time.
meant to be, it'll be.
That was a lot easier.
We had a lot better mental health when we couldn't actually know if someone was ignoring us or not on purpose and using us, like having sex with us and then leaving us, or us leaving them, because just like, oh, you could write down the wrong digit and net like an 8 or a 6, and you could just
like what we do to real estate agents when we go to open houses. Can we take down your number? Sure. I'm not leaving you my normal number.
I wonder how you get a prescription to Viagra.
Oh,
do you call it in? Like, do you have to go to the doctor?
I mean, go to the gas station. It must be so, oh God, you have to have a conversation with the doctor?
There must be a hotline now, like 1-800-Viagra,
sure.
because men would never, like, men don't like doctors statistically, apparently, yet many of them are on Viagra. So they're going somewhere to get Viagra.
What happens? I really want to know what happens if a girl takes Viagra. Does the blood rush to her vagina?
Probably not.
What happens? She has a panic attack and gets overstimulated.
I think nothing. Actually, I think nothing. I think I read nothing happens. Let me see though. If a girl takes,
that would be so weird that like something could affect a part of the body and not the rest.
Well, it sounds like it doesn't make you horny. It sounds like you have to be horny, and then right. So it's not. It's not saying that it's going to be like all of a sudden they're going to like go and start like humping things around them because they're so horny.
That would be really fun if there was a horny pill.
So increased blood flow to the genitals. It does say increase Viagra, increased arousal, increased orgasmic function
for ladies.
Yeah. However, there's headaches, flushing, nasal congestion, nausea, low blood pressure, sudden vision loss, sudden hearing loss, ringing in the ears, dizziness, cardiovascular problems, chest pain, heart attack, heart failure, and stroke.
Well, it's no wonder that men take the risk, but women don't.
And other effects, vaginal lubrication, feelings of pleasure, irregular heartbeat, and fainting. That sounds like a BDSM all in one spot.
I mean, it sounds like a medical emergency.
You should not take alcohol and Viagra together. And it does not address sexual desire. Research on Viagra's effects on women is conflicting, and it might not be as effective in women as in men.
Might not be. How come more women aren't trying it? All those side effects.
Sorry. Also, they don't do studies on women because women
don't matter.
We're just getting over perimenopause. They're just cracking the nut on a 20-year thing that women experience. Cracking the nut. I say that just on something we experience for
cracking the nut
20 years, 20 fucking years, and they're just deciding this is important. You think they're going to address sex? They should, actually. They were smart. They would figure it out.
It would be better for men and women if women were more interested.
You should discuss taking Viagra with your doctor before taking it. Okay? That's your PSA.
Thank you. So don't get it at the gas station.
And then that other one's in here.
What are yeah. I wonder how many people die on Viagra. And then they die with a big boner.
I feel like there would be a warning. Like, I don't know if they can
safe.
I mean, listen, I'm not a doctor, but I will say that it seems to be a very common prescription that many people talk about. I've heard about Viagra my whole life. I feel like it's been around for centuries. I don't know if people are taking centuries. I don't know how long that is. Hundreds of years? Maybe not. For such a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know how many have died on it, and was it from Viagra or just from the sheer heart rate of pumping? You know, people die from also shoveling sidewalks.
I feel like back in the day, I used to, or it was marketed that Viagra, and I think it still probably should be, is for men with erectile dysfunction.
What's that?
As,
They can't
like,
get a boner.
They can't get a boner.
But they're horny. That's tricky.
Yeah.
So we can have sex, but we're not horny.
Mm-hmm.
So tricky. They fucked that one up. Why do we have that problem? So weird. You're so weird. Whoever made us, you're weird. That's weird.
That's so weird.
I know. They can just be horny, but not get it.
They can't even have sex if they don't have a boner, right?
I guess you could dry hump, but I don't know what's going to happen. No,
that's not sex.
I mean, talk for yourself.
Like, that is so weird that a girl at any time can just have sex, but a guy has to be hard.
That's great. That should be the way.
Men?
I mean, they should not just be able to walk around with a hard boner all the time. They should have to work for it.
That's not what I meant.
They should have to try. No, it's to our advantage if they can't walk around with a flag, a staff member all day long.
Yeah, but it's just kind of weird that
work for it, babe. Work for it down there. Get it going. Get it going.
I mean, in my experience, the people I've come across don't seem to have to work for anything.
But I think as they get older, they do.
Like, what age?
I think younger than we think.
And then there's just guys who take it like
just to be a superhero, just to
have sex for hours and hours.
Yeah, because they have a strong refractory period. I don't know, guys. The whole thing is it's such a weird concept that there's this pill for men just to like pop it in and then go crazy. But for us, we just have to.
And I wonder how many young men have erectile dysfunction.
Many. I think it's a very common. I mean, tricky to get blood flow to one place.
I agree.
Like, think about it. It's just got to flow there. Do your legs go numb too?
I know.
Do your legs get thick?
How does it know not to go to the feet or the fingers? They're all extremities.
Does it go everywhere?
Does your face get like exploded? Like,
imagine your nose gets huge when you're
Ew. Yeah.
Oh my God. You know, I was watching
Oh.
No, it was not watching anything exciting. You watched Christmas movies with lots of there's so much sex. No?
Yes. Like, how come no one's talking about this?
When I sit down to watch and then it's like so naughty, like naked Frosty.
Yep.
Hot Frosty.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Strippers, edibles, hot Frosty. The last one I watched there was basically like 3. Their sole job on the movie was just to be the hottest guys.
I feel like they've done there's no more plots in the Christmas movies. Like
I'm loving the new plots.
The plots have been all taken. Like everyone's moved home to a farm. Everyone's moved home to a small town. Everyone's broken up and then met the family. Now strippers,
hot men, drugs, edibles, lots of same-sex relationships. So like
you saw the snowman that was the snowman, then turned into like a naked guy.
Of course I did.
I was
Frosty.
Like, yeah, that one.
He also had like zero body fat. I was like, I think he's thirsty. He looked a bit dehydrated.
I couldn't finish it. I was like, I was watching it with Chloe. Yeah. I was like, I'm really trying to get into this, but the acting,
I know.
The acting is so bad.
I know.
It is reminiscent of kind of like just terrible acting movies.
Yes, it is. It's very much so. And I love them all.
You do. You like bad acting.
I like the movies. I just like the way they make me feel. They always end up good in the end. There's usually hot guys. The girls, like, sometimes they're really pretty, but sometimes they're not that much. They're like, yeah. But the guys, if they don't have the hottest face, they always have hot bodies.
I'm just trying to understand where Christmas.
The one last night was a firefighter, and he was doing like a fundraiser, and obviously he had no shirt on and suspenders, and he did the calendar.
Was he hot?
Like, I had from 3 to choose. Like, there was Nick A, B, and C.
Yeah.
I mean, my choice was Nick A or B. But yes, in theory, he was hot.
Nick A or B. And did she choose one?
She actually ended up going for the guy she works with named Chris. And then she ended up finding out that his real name was Nick, too.
Imagine there was, like Saint Nick?
Because it was magic. There was magic in the movie. But the guy who was like that she fell for was like the producer on the show, and he hosted a show called something where people. So it was, his name was Chris. It was like he was Chris Harrison.
I think a great TV show would be following people home, like real relationships home, and then going into the in-laws' houses with them, and then there's weird rules like you can't sleep with your. Will you be one of those? No.
My house is really small. I mean,
They're going to have to sleep in the same room?
no, I mean, like, it's really small. Like, I'd feel weird if they were sleeping in the same room.
I mean, they're coming home. They're 22.
I mean, we
Were you
have.
going to put them on the couch?
I
Or
mean,
her?
maybe they could get a
Oh,
hotel.
they'll go in the bunk bed.
And sometimes it surprises you, parents who are totally fine with it. You know, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, unexpected. I thought that.
My
You know.
parents are fine with it. There were so many of us. I'm just trying to think of if you're like all of these people who are going home and then they're like, sorry,
I don't think there's space for them at the house.
oh, you're not welcoming people in your house to sleep over.
Where are they going to sleep?
Their beds.
The top bunk?
Well, they're not having that one. Just let's say the other two who have their own rooms.
I don't think they're ever going to get there.
She's delusional.
The upstairs is off limits.
They're going to bring
I also walk around naked. Like, everyone's so naked. We're going to have to stop that.
Yeah, this is what happens. You bring people. Do you think you're just all going to live with nobody for the rest of your life? Just the 6 of you? You're going to have people in your house. You're going to have in-laws. You're going to have kids with. You're going to have like.
I just can't picture it in the house I'm living in. How about that?
Or they're going to come home and they're going to walk in on you naked 100% in the bath.
Lucky them.
Yeah, exactly.
I do have bubbles.
They'll walk in and because everyone will just walk in and then
everyone just uses the one
and
shower.
then the boyfriend walks in. He's like, "What the hell? Why is everyone naked?" And you're like, "This is what we do."
Oh my God! I just watched a movie that was like that.
Yeah, that's not surprising to me.
Yeah.
And you're like, you know what? I just have to be okay with everyone.
Everybody seeing me naked.
You have to just be okay with it.
I know. I mean, what is Olivia's boyfriend sleeping up on the 3rd floor?
She goes to his house.
Oh,
guaranteed, probably.
She goes to his house.
Yeah, probably.
Oh. And does the girl sleep in Max's bedroom up on the 3rd floor?
How old are they?
This is your game.
19,
22?
22. Depends if I like her or not.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a meeting.
What about Chloe?
Chloe, she'll probably sneak them in
the window.
We'll have a rotating room. I'm like, Chloe, not again.
And that's so close to your door.
Yeah, Chloe.
I think we're gonna need different houses for this.
I think this is gonna happen.
Yeah, well, it doesn't have to happen.
Right. You're not letting it happen.
Like, no, I'm not saying I'm not letting it. I just can't picture it. So,
I mean, you're closer to it than farther from it.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Closer to it than farther. It's just the holidays and
I wasn't allowed to sleep in Mark's room when I first went there.
Did you have to get married?
Maybe.
Then you can have sex.
Because I was thinking about the one time that I know that I slept in his bed.
Were you married?
And I got my period through the sheets into the mattress.
You can't lie about that one. Were you in his bed with him?
Yes.
And
I was allowed at the time. So I must have been married.
I was like, maybe you weren't allowed then.
Mm-hmm. No, that would have been really bad. I'm like, Mark, I can't. Like, how?
What did he do?
Went and washed them, and I'm like, don't. Like, how embarrassing.
Yeah. Did you clean the mattress?
I don't remember. I mean, I don't think I could have.
And you were married?
Married, I think.
Would have been juicier if you weren't. And then you had to go and be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then
Mark would have just had to pretend like he was bleeding out his butt.
Or his nose.
No.
just so you know, there are nosebleeds. Like, you don't have to go right to the butt. But sure, my butt is bleeding. Okay. Yeah.
Nosebleed. That's a good one. Why didn't I just fucking play that one off?
I have no idea. You just nosebleed.
Because maybe the mom would be like, oh, I'll take care of it. And then she would have seen the location of the blood and been like, that's
I think, you know what? Well, you could have been
a weird sleeper.
Blowjob.
What does that have to do with it?
Nosebleed.
That would have been better. Nosebleed during a blowjob. That would have been more appropriate.
I'm just saying I'm excited for the next.
Did you sleep over at Mark's house? Oh, you guys were old enough. He had his own place.
I'm like every weekend. No.
Oh yeah.
I'm curious. We're gonna get to this next phase where we get to hear these stories because we're before it was like parties.
Yeah.
Now it's like we get older, and they get older, and then you walk in on. They walk in. My mother-in-law saw my mother-in-law naked. That happens all the time.
I know. It's in all the movies.
It happens.
Because
actually, I bet there's submissions about it.
Yeah.
You're in when you see your.
No.
Oh God! It just makes me so.
Why are they naked again?
Well, they're like getting out of the shower and you go grab something. Like it's just doesn't mean to happen. Like they just open the door and their mother-in-law. Something just always happens.
It happened to me once.
What?
With a teenage boy. And
you were
the
naked?
door. No, he was.
How old were you?
Mortifying. I was probably in grade like 4 and he was in grade.
Why was a teenage boy in your house?
It was their house. I was having a sleepover.
And
ironically, I got a nosebleed on that bed.
And you opened the door.
And he was there, standing naked, peeing.
Now imagine it's your son-in-law.
It's worse if I'm naked. No, I don't.
Happens everywhere.
Okay, people just need to put locks on their doors.
I think they walk out, they have a shower, they look for a towel, something. They walk in.
Oh.
It happens more than we know. They don't know they're home.
Mm-hmm.
Then they go in, they're like, oh my God, I just saw you. I saw your full Monty. I can't. Okay, bye guys. It just makes me want to vomit. Can you imagine? Imagine seeing your father-in-law naked.
That was what I was doing.
And if your husband and your dad go to like the locker room, do they get changed in front of each other and get naked?
Oh my God.
Like when they go golfing?
You have to ask that stuff.
Like when you go golfing or like when you shower with your father-in-law in the change room, are they all naked? Well, and is it a big deal? Because to me, it's a big deal.
It's a big deal. And my son said that at the tennis club that he goes to, the amount of nudity walking around, all the boys are like, everybody's naked.
That's what I mean.
Why are they so naked?
I don't know. So can you imagine your son getting naked with his father-in-law, like in the dressing room, and then they go have a shower, and the showers and the hockey rinks, like I told you, are all
face each other?
They're just all little. There's not even individual stalls.
Yeah.
So you're like, I'm just gonna go shower, and then you're there with weird. Women don't do that.
I just think urinals are even weird too. Like I don't understand
do you pee beside your father-in-law or beside your brother-in-law?
I think you do. I think you do if you go to the bathroom together.
So you don't go to the bathroom. That's why boys don't go to the bathroom together if they know each other. Like if you're like, I'm gonna go with my father-in-law, or do you pee with your dad when you're grown up? Like and you go to the bathroom. You do.
I think you do.
You go in the urinal together.
I think you do.
Men, that is so.
It's like men just they were not given the right of privacy, but they also didn't want it.
Serves them right. Like I need all of your walk-in confessions immediately.
Please.
DM them to us immediately,
and don't leave out any details.
Immediately. And does it ever get awkward when your kids get older and you walk in on them?
On them doing what?
Like when they're 21 and you open the door and they're there naked.
I don't feel like it would be weird for me.
No, if they walk in on you, mom's naked again.
Nothing new.
What if their daughter walks in on the husband?
Oh no! Oh my God! Oh, my daughter was in my room and my husband was coming out. I'm like, no, Taylor's in the room.
So it's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, that would be weird.
That's weird. Now imagine it's your son-in-law walking in. Okay, bye.